going on, guys? Junior's Fishing Company with a little weedless deer hair jig today. I cannot remember the brand of hook that this is, but it's got a nice little weedless guard on it. I bent it back, so hopefully when I bend it back to put on the hook it doesn't break. But this is just a 1/4 ounce. I ended up painting this. The ones that I have are like a watermelon green. I just painted it white and I put some 7mm eyes on there. This is just gonna be a white and gray jig today. I'm gonna put black thread on it just for a little bit of contrast, I guess. It's a really long shank, so I'm gonna end up tying 3 smaller stacks of deer hair. I'm gonna put some flash in here too, but again, it's just a really it's a longer hook. I mean, it's almost 2 full inches. And so I want this bait, I don't know, maybe 4.5. This would be 4. So I'm gonna go somewhere right around right here. The first thing I'm gonna do is the gray that I'm using is a really light gray. And even in the white stacks, you can barely even tell that there's gray in there. But I know when this gets wet, it's gonna darken. That's what happens to almost all materials. Is if you tie like a dark olive anything, it ends up looking really, really dark. So I didn't want to grab my darker grays because I don't want it to be more of a gray bait. I want it to be white with some gray in it. So I just put a little bit, but this tail is going to be all gray. Just a couple of loose wraps, cord up my thread, and I'll just spin that around. Again, about 4 inches or so. It's not going to be a huge bait. Just get that pushed around. Make sure that, grab my bodkin, clean up some of these hairs that want to go on the other side, and then I'll just tie that off. I'm going to put a little bit of flash in here after my next stack of bucktail. Just get that tied down. Make sure that's not going anywhere. I'm going to go right by that little thread bump. And again, this is just going to be, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell in the camera, but there is some gray in there, I promise. I'm just going to bring this, I want that gray tail. Pull out some of these longer white ones. I want that gray tail to be there. So I'm just gonna come maybe about right there, trim off what I don't need, and I'll cord up my thread again. And the flash I'm gonna use it's a little bit darker too. It's kind of a blended holographic flashabou. I'll just do 2 loose wraps and get this down. It's blended. It's got some black in there. It's got some silver. It's got some white. Push that all the way around. Make sure I like how it looks. Again, you'll want your bodkin. Push all that stuff over. Make sure that it's even. And then I'll just tie this off. And I just want to build up a nice little plane. Nice little flat area for my flash. Then I can come right up to my jig head. I'll have just enough room on my jig head to put that last stack. I think this is Holographic Flashabou, just Hedron or whoever makes it, and it's Moonlight or something like that. And this is a ton. I accidentally grabbed way too much, so I'll take some of that out, save it for another jig. I just want to taper this out. It's got some like mirage in there, some silver, some black, and I'm just gonna bring that down, wrap it. Again, I might have 15 or so strands in here, which is not a small amount. Just get that spun around. That weed guard doesn't want these spinning around, but you do your best. So that looks pretty good. A little bit more on top maybe, or actually that's going to be the bottom. And then I can just get a couple wraps just to make sure that that's not going to go anywhere. Then I can kind of just pull all this up and get it trimmed off and see if I want to add more. I don't think I'm going to add any more, just because I don't want this bait to be too flashy. I just have never been a huge fan of having a ton of flash in my baits. I mean, maybe some musky stuff. I mean, guys throw all tinsel skirts, but I really don't like a ton of flash. So I put down just a little bit of head cement, and then I'm going to come right up here. I've got just enough room. These hooks are a little thin, so when you put some pressure on them, they bend a ton. So I'll just come right here, and again, my last little bit of deer hair has just a little bit of gray in it, and the white that I chose to use is really, really straight. Some of my jigs, I kind of prefer them to be with that straight hair. I'm going to cut a lot of this off. I got some tails in the fall from some people, and they turned out to be really good tails. So I don't feel as bad trimming off tails that I got for free as I would a, $20 tail. I'll just come right here. One wrap, two, pull down towards my head, and I'll just spin that around. It wants to get nice and tangled, so I just comb it out. And it's a little bit tricky spinning it right by with that little collar, or that's weed guard on there. Just push it on the other side. Get that over there. I'm really excited to use these jigs though in some weeds. We'll see if they actually work. Sometimes you get a jig with a collar like this, or I keep saying collar, a weed guard, and sometimes they just don't work as well as you think. You're not going to be able to drag this thing through weeds. See if I can get any flare out of this. Just a little bit. Just get it on either side of my hook. And I can kind of just wrap this off. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, because when you're fishing it, I'll end up fishing this pretty quick. I'll kind of jerk this in the water so fish won't have time to see my mistakes. I'm going to get a couple good wraps down there, and then I'm going to get this hair trimmed off. So that's trimmed off. Just going to build up a little bit of a collar here. I do just like how this black will stand out just a little. I could have done red too. Could have for sure done red. But I just wanted it, now I want to even this out. Then I can just come in here with my whip finish. I'm going to have to kind of be careful. Go under there. Make sure I don't hit anything. 3 turns should be good. Maybe 2, 3, whatever that was, I don't know. Get that off, and then I'm just going to put down some head cement. I obviously don't have to put any eyes on here. You could. I've never seen a fish with 4 eyes before. But if you have, call your local news station, I suppose, and tell them. I just add this a little bit. I mean, it's going to add some gloss, durability, just kind of everything you want. I'll let that dry. But a simple pattern, I can get this pushed back, get that right on my hook. Again, I don't know how well these weed guards are going to do. We'll see. This wasn't like a crazy expensive hook or anything like that, so I'm not super hopeful. They're durable enough where I could bend those back, and now I can put them back on the hook, so it didn't break yet. I'm a little reluctant to fiddle around with it. It got a little bit bent, but I don't want to bend it too much. Simple gray, a little bit of flash, mostly white, big eyes on there. Fish this in weeds. Junior's Fishing Company. Like and subscribe, drop comments below. See you on the next one.